How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Palworld card game video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today, we're opening and reviewing the very first Palworld official card game starter decks. I was going to call these trial decks. That's technically what Bushiroad calls these. They call their starter decks trial decks, but no, these are the actual starter decks. And today, well, we're opening and reviewing them. Are they worth it for you to pick up? I've been having an absolute blast with both the Palworld card game and the video game, and I absolutely cannot wait to open these up and discuss even more Palworld with all of y'all. I actually have my case opening waiting to happen over there. Check out that video when that one drops. I think I probably have split it up. We probably have half of the case opening, then this video, then the other half of the case opening. But in any case, today we're opening up the starter decks and talking about whether I think you should pick them up or not and how many you should pick up. But it's 2, by the way. You should pick up 2. But let's go ahead and jump into our top down and start cracking into these starter decks and talking about more Palworld. Let's do it. All right, let's get started. We have the starter deck green purple. I thought it would have like a name to it. It's just Donna Palpagos green purple. And then we also have the blue red. These are the 4 colors, at least currently in the Palworld card game. No news yet if they plan on, introducing more colors. So currently there's just these 4. And well, we're gonna just crack these open and get started and talk about whether they're worth it, like I mentioned at the start, and whether I think you should pick these up just in general. I'm going to give you a kind of a quick TLDR. Yeah, I think you should pick up at least one of these because the main set does not have any of the resources in it, which are the soul. So you'll need at least one of these to play the game. But my general recommendation will likely be you'll need 2 of each of these, but we'll talk about that as we go. We're going to open up my favorite one first, and then we'll open up the other. I actually also personally bought 2 of each as well, just for like all transparency's sake. But yeah, let's get started. And as we crack this open, I want to mention our sponsor. It's myself, redzonerogue.com. We have beautiful playmats such as this from talented industry artists. This is from artist Honchu. No AI art now, by the way. No AI art ever for anything involving like Red Zone Rogue. And the reason I'm using this art in particular, it's a pretty spicy one. This artist, Han, she is a Palworld artist. She actually did the art for the Chillit promo resource for Palworld. So I was like, I don't have any Palworld playmats, so this is the next best thing, from an artist that worked on Palworld. So very cool. And so she's also she's a good friend of mine. All right, let's crack this open. So we have this. We'll kind of like toss this to the side to recycle. We have our suite of, we have like a pack, as well as some little goodies in here. And then we have the deck itself, and then the rest can also be recycled. So let's open up the little, I was going to call this a pack, but it's not really a pack. This is just kind of like a, learning materials type of thing. So here we have some little punch outs to keep track of your resources. We have wood, we have food, and then we have just a general like token if you need it. We also have a booster pack of Dawn of Palpagos. We'll open this up in a moment. And then we also have kind of this playmat. This is pretty standard for Bushiroad games. This one has the flow of the game, or I guess, yeah, like literally calls it the flow of the game here. These are just the phases. So if you're new to Palworld and you, are learning to play, this will be very, very nice. And this just folds out into one of the kind of generic paper playmats. I typically don't like using these. I personally like using a nice like neoprene playmat. But yeah, if you're new and you're still learning, sure, here's all the zones and everything. On the back, it is nothing. So it's nice to have. I like it when TCGs do this just to help new players. Then we also have the like how to play insert as well. I really like, this is a small thing by the way, I really like that they did not double side these. And I'll talk about why in just a moment after I kind of show this off. But here's just kind of like the general rules on how to play the Palworld card game. The official comprehensive rules are up on their website along with a bunch of Q&As. So that's really, really good. I've actually noticed a lot of people in the comment section of some of our previous Palworld card game videos kind of don't understand the rules entirely. So I would recommend checking out the QA as well as the official comprehensive rules. But anyway, I like that they did not double-side this, so you can actually have this out as a reference while you're using this. I kind of hate it when they put it on, they double-side the playmat and the rules, because then you're just like, well, how do you look at the rules and use the playmat at the same time? Just a small pet peeve, but it is one that comes up if you play a lot of TCGs like me. All right, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the cards, and then we'll open up the packs at the end. We'll open up the other starter and then open up the pack. So here is the actual deck here. Has one of these little pull tabs, very standard for Bushiroad. And then here's the actual cards. So we have Grisbolt, Rumbling Tank. By the way, if you would like my opinions of all the cards mechanically speaking, I have a full set review for the Palworld card game, set 1 and both starters. So I'm not going to go over all the cards and read them out and go over the mechanics. I literally did that in a whole video dedicated to that. So if you'd like to see all of the cards mechanically speaking, go check that video out. I'll put a link in the description down below, or you can check out my Palworld card game playlist here on the channel. So essentially, this will come with a lot of kind of like generic pals with no effects, like Jolthog. I like Jolthog. He's very cute. We have Grisbolt, which is one of the lucky pals. In the Palworld card game, you can only have 8 lucky pals in your deck, so we'll kind of like put that aside. We have Foxbarks, a Toasty Hug. This is a really, really important card because it has this interrupt effect. I call this Force of Pals, because if you're like me and you come from a long TCG background, it kind of reminds you of mechanics like Force of Will, well, the card Force of Will, not the game Force of Will. It's similar to like a Perfect Guard from Vanguard, but it's more similar in my opinion to Force of Will, because you can play this with the interrupt effect by discarding this plus an additional card from your hand, kind of like Force of Will. Anyway, this is a great way to prevent damage. Using these in your decks is going to be pretty crucial. I found out that running at least 4 in your deck is really important, but some decks will run like 8 to 12 of them. Here we have another one of our lucky pals. This is Blazamet, Molten Sovereign. We'll put that down here. We have some of our structures. We have our single shot rifle. We have Ignis Breath. This is a really sweet card. Put that to the side. We have the Elfidron Aqua, another really sweet card. We have Jolthog Grist, still very cute. Pangolin. This Pangolin also is going to be an important card. We have more of the Force of Pals. This is the Raindrix. So we have Foxbarks and Raindrix. This is another some more of our lucky pals. So we have the Mammorous Crest and the Suzaku Aqua. Suzaku Aqua. I can say the words. We have 2 copies of the Wooden Chair and the Primitive Workbench. Single Shot Sphere Launcher. Crystal Breath is a nice one. Lamball, My First Pal is another nice one. All right, so now we're getting back into some of the duplicates here. And this is kind of like how Bushiroad will typically lay out their... Oh! We got a foil. We got a foil Crystal Breath. All right. The foils that you get are randomly inserted, I believe. So that's really nice. So we got this foil Crystal Breath. That's a pretty nice one to get. You can see, by the way, that it is textured as kind of like the high chase rarities for Bushiroad is, and the bottom is just kind of like this glossy, but I do appreciate the texture. This is a good playable card. And did this actually take the place of the card? It might have. Hold on, let's take a look. So we have 1 Crystal Breath here. I think it did take the place of the Crystal Breath in the deck. Yeah. So it did. So you don't get this in addition to it, you get it instead of. So we got a regular Crystal Breath and the foil one, which is pretty nice. And then rounding out the rest of here, we have our life counter, which is really nice. You start at 10, you can go higher, and you can obviously go much lower. And then we have our food counter, or our resource counter, so we can keep track of whatever resource we have. And this is where this kind of stuff can come into play here. And then of course we have our souls. And like I said, these do not come in the booster set. Aside from like the super chase, like the golden calico. I was gonna call it calico. Cativa. Yeah, these don't come in the booster set. So you actually need these from the starter deck to actually play. But there's other reasons to actually get these, because every card in the starter deck is exclusive to the starter deck. You cannot get these in the booster set. They only come in the starter deck. So if you want to get any of these cards to play with, you will need to get the starter deck. And you might ask then, okay, well, how many starter decks do I need to get? And the reason I kind of laid all of these cards out here will be a huge indication as to how many you need to get. So in Palworld, in the Palworld card game, a play set, so the maximum number of any card you can play in your deck is 4. Now, the trial decks, these starter decks, come with 2 copies of most of the really powerful cards, which means you need to get 2 of each starter deck to actually have a play set to play these in constructed decks. So, for example, I kind of pulled these out while we were talking, but we have Ignis Breath, Aqua, we have the Pangolin, we have these. This Foxbarks is very good because it's a low-cost Force of Pals. I'm actually running Blazama in a deck. And here's the rest of our Lucky Pals. And Crystal Breath is, like, not bad either. So, like, these are cards that you want a full playset of if you're going to be playing them in your deck. And one starter deck only gives you 2 of each. So you need to get 2 starter decks in order to kind of like max out your playset, which once again is the entire reason why I got 2 of each starter deck. And I would recommend to you to also get 2 of each starter deck, because there are cards in here that are like very, very playable cards that you will want to have for your competitive decks. And obviously you'll have the extra soul. The number of starter decks is actually going to limit the number of decks that I can build in Palworld because I need soul for all of them. All right, so there's that one. Let's go ahead and open up the green-purple deck. Now, in my testing, and I did play with these quite a bit at Anime Expo with a friend who works at TCG Play. Big shout out to Drew. We played for many hours. We played with these for quite a while. I personally like the red-blue one more, and I think they're pretty balanced. I think if you're like, hey, which one is the better one? Well, to be completely honest, they're very well balanced against each other. But if you want to play, like, in events, tournaments, you're going to want to construct your deck anyway, make like a fully constructed deck anyway. And so my recommendation would be pick up whatever one you like the most, or whatever cards are in here that are cards that you want to play in a constructed deck that you want to build. Generally speaking, I think it's really important to get all of these cards. If you want to just generally play the Palworld card game, there are cards in these starter decks that will be very, very good for a long time, right? So we have well, the Berry Plantation's fine. I thought it was the other farm. Stone Blast is really interesting. I actually like Astragon quite a bit. I think he's cool. Lee's Punk. This card it's just a like starter deck card. This card is so freaking good. Lee's Punk is like fantastic. Here we have the Force of Pals for this. I like the Fellbat. I think the Fellbat's actually pretty good. I guess I'll put that down here. The problem with Fellbat is that it is a Lucky Pal, and your slots for Lucky Pals in your deck is pretty limited. Here we have the Cativa. Ooh, I wonder what we got for the foil. Oh, we got the Bronze Cherry. Very pretty. Not one of the cards I'm looking to play, but it is a very pretty card. Just because it's a Lucky Pal, and I feel like there's better Lucky Pals to put in the deck. So this is once again, to kind of reiterate, these are some of the cards that you'll want to be looking out for from this particular deck, right? Mostly it's like purple cards. I think there's some really, really good purple cards in here. But there's some other ones good. There's some other ones too. This is the only combat trick currently in Palworld, and so getting these will be really nice for your green decks if you want to run some combat tricks. I like Astragon as kind of like a pseudo board wiper kind of guy. I feel like he goes in a very specific purple deck. We have medical supplies for some reanimation. We have our Force of Pals for this one. Once again, the Dinosum is really important because it's a 4-drop, but it's also a dragon, so it has synergy with Chillet from the main set. I think Lee's Punk is a slam dunk in every single purple deck. This is like one of the best cards right now, in my opinion, as like one of the lower drop pals. It's super, super good. Basically, when it dies, your opponent has to discard a card, and there's so many ways to synergize with that. That's really good. The Fellbat's all right. I like that it like gains you life and it has stealth, but it's a Lucky Pal, so it's hard to fit in decks. And then Strike from Darkness is another staple. 4-drop, choose a pal, put on the graveyard, just kill anything. These are super, super important to have. So once again, you'd want to get 2 copies of the starters just so you can get your Lee's Punks and your Strike from Darkness, and then any other stuff you're kind of like looking to play. But these ones are kind of like the important ones. If you just wanted to buy singles, you can do that too. If you can find someone who's selling singles currently. Yeah, that's kind of where I am with these. I think they're very, very good. Let's put Astragon on the front. I like Astragon quite a bit. I think this card's really sweet. And yeah, that's kind of where I stand with these. I think these, once again, are pretty well suited to battle against each other. The green purple one is a little slower and doesn't have quite as good removal as the red blue one. The red blue one just has a lot of like nice removal in it. In a starter deck meta, you have some stuff like the workbench, which is really, really nice. Pumps all your, it deals 800 damage, but also kind of like pump all your pals. We have like the rifle, which is good at clearing out stuff. So yeah, but this one's a little bit grindier, right? We have stuff like Strike from Darkness. We have reanimation, like medical supplies and that kind of stuff. So if you're just like, hey, which one's the better deck? Just buy whatever one kind of speaks to you the most. I think they're both pretty solid. But generally speaking, I recommend buying 2 of each because there's staples in these that you will want to play if you want to play Palworld. So that's kind of the review. Pick these up if you can. I know some places are still selling these for about $20 a pop. So if you can find them, that's great. That'll give you a nice foundation for building more decks in Palworld. Or you can just pick up the singles that you need. If you're just like, oh, I only want Lee's Punk and Strike from Darkness, well, you can try to find those as well. But once again, these cards do not come in the booster set. These are the only place you can get these cards right now. So you do need to get the starters or at least to buy singles to get these cards. All right, let's open up the packs. This was the red-blue pack. We'll crack this one open to see. Ooh, this is my very first pack of Palworld. I've never opened up any packs yet. So we have Black Marketeer. This is the common. Ooh, Dark Cannon. Very good, very good. Nice removal. We have Blaze Howl. Nice little Force of Pals there. We have Thwack. I don't think Thwack's very good at all, but we got him. We got a Thwack. Ooh, Gummos. I like a Gummos. I think Gummos is pretty good. We have a Palsphere, also very good. And then our first foil. Ooh, we have a Elizabeth or Elizabethan. Shout out to the person who mentioned that in the comment section. All right, nice little B card. Let's see what I get on our second pack. We have a Daydream. We have a No Pals Beyond sign. Mao Crisp, which I think could be good if you have like some sort of farming style deck. We have Foxbarks. I think Foxbarks is pretty good in an aggressive deck. We have Valet, Wumpo, and then our oh, it's a Pangolin. We have a Pangolin, Yearning for the Sky. Pangolins, this one's really good. I run this one in a lot of decks. And as you can see, this is the foiling pattern for just the regular cards. This is a very Bushiroad thing to do. They like to put this on a lot of their games. You'll see this in like Cardfight Vanguard and that kind of stuff. Less so in Shadowverse Evolve. I kind of hope they adopt more of a Shadowverse Evolve foiling system where it's like more spot foiled, where we have like foiling in the background and the characters kind of pop a little bit more. But we'll see how they evolve over time. And I'll go sort these in my own time. And then just for the sake of posterity, that is the review. I recommend getting 2 of each of these. Just to kind of cap this off, I'm going to open up my other 2 decks and kind of just see what we get here. So just hey, if you just want to see what we get in these other 2 decks, here you go. But that is essentially the video. And we'll open up the packs too. Why not? So let's go ahead and just take the pack out. And then I want to see what we get for the foil for here. Obviously, I'd love to get parallel foils of any of those cards that I pulled aside, right? Not necessarily these big guys, but stuff like I was gonna call it the Ignis. Yeah, I think it might just be called Ignis Breath, like the fire breath. Yeah, Ignis Breath. Foil of that. Ilfidorn Aqua is a card that I'm gonna be running. Pangolin, I'm gonna be running in a lot of decks. So let us see. We got a foil Stone Pit for your wood deck. Okay. Definitely not the one that I was hoping to get, but you know what, we'll still take it. And then let's open up the other one, see what we get there. And once again, obviously, the whole reason you actually get these is for the duplicates, so you can actually make multiple decks. Or if you just get one of these and it can just be, how you learn to play. That's also very valid, right? If you just want to test out the game, which I think is extremely good. It's very fun. All right, and there are like alternate arts that you can get in these. I think it's pretty hard to get, but we'll find out. From this one, yeah, and give me something cool and purple. Lee's Punk would be sick. Gimme a foil Lee's Punk. Or Strike from Darkness. Either one would be cool. I see what it is back here. Well, I see where it is back here. It's, oh, Strike from Darkness. Let's go. Okay, we take that. We take that. Very, very nice. Because that is an extremely good and playable card. Excellent. I will be putting that into my pet deck, which is going to be my blue-purple Reanimator. All right, so here, oh my god, I think we got something really nice. You can kind of tell by the foiling there. So we got Dark Cannon, very good playable. Sphere Workbench, we have Serpent, Antique Dresser, Van Worm, and then, oh, okay, this is really nice. We have a Lylene, Blessing of the Goddess. Absolutely beautiful. This is an OSR, which is kind of like an extra fancy version of the normal version. It's not the alternate art, but it's still really nice. I think this is one of the best green cards in the game. And then we still got a rare behind this. We got the Reptyro. Okay. Yeah, that's very nice. Oh, we take that. I guess I'll just set that here. I'll be sorting all of my pack pulls much later when I'm opening my case. But yeah, getting the Lylene is great. I think she's really, really good. I don't think we got anything spicy in this one. This Aurora guide is super good though. We have Daydream, we have another Valet, and then we have, ooh, Pyron Noct, Steed of Azure Flames. This is really good. I will be running this in a Nocturnal deck that I'm building. But yeah, you can kind of expect like the chase rares to look kind of like this, which are very, very nice. So thank you for watching, everyone. Once again, I do recommend picking up two of each of these if you can. Otherwise, pick up the singles. I kind of hopefully pointed out the ones that you want to be looking out for, or maybe just the singles that you personally are looking out for. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. The viewership and support on the Palworld content has been awesome so far, and I just genuinely really, really love the game. So thank you all so much for watching, and hope to see you next time.